Quality Management System Interview Questions and Answers for Freshers. Question number 1. What is a quality management system, QMS, and why is it important in a company?
Response to question number 1. A QMS is a set of policies, processes, and procedures required for planning and execution in an organization. It ensures that the company meets customer requirements and continuously improves its processes. It is important as it helps in achieving customer satisfaction, reducing risks, and improving efficiency.
Question number 2. Can you explain the ISO 9001 standard and its importance in a QMS?
Response to question number 2. ISO 9001 is an international standard that specifies requirements for a QMS. It helps organizations to demonstrate their ability to consistently provide products and services that meet customer and regulatory requirements. It is important as it provides a framework for companies to implement a QMS and improve their overall performance.
Question number 3. How do you ensure that a company's products or services meet quality standards?
Response to question number 3. I ensure that products or services meet quality standards by implementing quality control measures, conducting regular audits, and monitoring key performance indicators. I also work closely with cross-functional teams to identify areas for improvement and implement corrective actions when necessary.
Question number 4. Can you give an example of a quality improvement project you have worked on in the past?
Response to question number 4. One example of a quality improvement project I have worked on in the past is implementing a new quality control process for a manufacturing company. I conducted a thorough analysis of the existing process, identified areas for improvement, and worked with the team to implement a new process that resulted in a significant reduction in defects and customer complaints.
Question number 5. How do you handle nonconformities in a QMS?
Response to question number 5. I handle nonconformities in a QMS by first identifying the root cause of the issue, conducting a thorough investigation, and implementing corrective and preventive actions to prevent recurrence. I also work closely with stakeholders to ensure that the issue is resolved in a timely manner and that any necessary changes are implemented to prevent similar issues in the future.
Response to question number 6. How do you ensure that employees are trained on the QMS and quality standards?
Response to question number 6. I ensure that employees are trained on the QMS and quality standards by developing training programs, conducting regular training sessions, and providing resources such as manuals and guides. I also track employee training and performance to ensure that they are meeting quality standards and continuously improving their skills.
Question number 7. How do you measure the effectiveness of a QMS?
Response to question number 7. I measure the effectiveness of a QMS by using key performance indicators, KPIs, such as customer satisfaction, defect rates, and on-time delivery. I also conduct regular audits and reviews to assess the performance of the QMS and identify areas for improvement.
Question number 8. How do you ensure that a company complies with regulatory requirements in a QMS?
Response to question number 8. I ensure that a company complies with regulatory requirements in a QMS by staying up to date on relevant regulations, conducting regular audits, and working closely with regulatory agencies. I also implement processes and procedures to ensure that the company meets all regulatory requirements and maintains compliance.
Question number 9. How do you handle customer complaints in a QMS?
Response to question number 9. I handle customer complaints in a QMS by first acknowledging the complaint, conducting a thorough investigation, and implementing corrective actions to address the issue. I also work with the customer to ensure that their concerns are addressed and that any necessary changes are made to prevent similar issues in the future.
Question number 10. Can you give an example of a successful QMS implementation you have been a part of?
Response to question number 10. One example of a successful QMS implementation I have been a part of is implementing a new document control system for a healthcare company. I worked with cross-functional teams to develop a new system that improved document management processes, reduced errors, and increased efficiency. The implementation resulted in improved compliance with regulatory requirements and increased customer satisfaction.
Question number 11. How do you ensure continuous improvement in a QMS?
Response to question number 11. I ensure continuous improvement in a QMS by conducting regular audits, collecting feedback from stakeholders, and analyzing data to identify areas for improvement. I also work closely with cross-functional teams to implement corrective and preventive actions and monitor key performance indicators to track progress.
Question number 12. How do you prioritize quality objectives in a QMS?
Response to question number 12. I prioritize quality objectives in a QMS by aligning them with the company's overall goals and objectives, conducting a risk assessment to identify high-priority areas, and focusing on areas that will have the greatest impact on customer satisfaction and business performance. I also work with stakeholders to ensure that quality objectives are achievable and measurable.
Question number 13. How do you ensure that suppliers meet quality standards in a QMS?
Response to question number 13. I ensure that suppliers meet quality standards in a QMS by conducting supplier audits, establishing clear quality requirements, and monitoring supplier performance. I also work closely with suppliers to address any issues that arise and implement corrective actions to ensure that they meet quality standards.
Question number 14. How do you ensure that changes to processes do not impact quality standards in a QMS?
Response to question number 14. I ensure that changes to processes do not impact quality standards in a QMS by conducting a thorough impact assessment, involving stakeholders in the change management process, and implementing controls to monitor the impact of changes. I also conduct regular reviews to assess the effectiveness of changes and make adjustments as needed to maintain quality standards.
Question number 15. How do you communicate quality objectives and expectations to employees in a QMS?
Response to question number 15. I communicate quality objectives and expectations to employees in a QMS by developing clear and concise policies and procedures, conducting regular training sessions, and providing resources such as manuals and guides. I also encourage open communication and feedback to ensure that employees understand their role in achieving quality objectives.
Question number 16. How do you ensure that data in a QMS is accurate and reliable?
Response to question number 16. I ensure that data in a QMS is accurate and reliable by implementing data validation processes, conducting regular data audits, and establishing controls to prevent errors. I also work with cross-functional teams to ensure that data is entered correctly and that any discrepancies are resolved in a timely manner.
Question number 17. How do you ensure that a QMS is effectively implemented across all departments in a company?
Response to question number 17. I ensure that a QMS is effectively implemented across all departments in a company by developing clear and concise policies and procedures, conducting regular training sessions, and providing resources such as manuals and guides. I also work closely with department heads to ensure that the QMS is integrated into their processes and that they are meeting quality standards.
Question number 18. How do you handle resistance to change when implementing a QMS?
Response to question number 18. I handle resistance to change when implementing a QMS by involving stakeholders in the change management process, communicating the benefits of the QMS, and addressing concerns and objections in a timely manner. I also provide training and support to help employees adapt to the changes and ensure that they are engaged in the process.
Question number 19. How do you ensure that a QMS is sustainable and continuously improves over time?
Response to question number 19. I ensure that a QMS is sustainable and continuously improves over time by conducting regular reviews and audits, collecting feedback from stakeholders, and analyzing data to identify areas for improvement. I also establish a culture of continuous improvement within the organization and encourage employees to participate in quality initiatives and suggest improvements.
Question number 20. How do you stay updated on the latest trends and best practices in quality management?
Response to question number 20. I stay updated on the latest trends and best practices in quality management by attending conferences, workshops, and training sessions, reading industry publications, and networking with other professionals in the field. I also participate in professional organizations and online forums to stay informed about new developments in quality management. Thanks for watching this free training video. Please continue leaning in Pharma Talks YouTube channel and don't forget to subscribe Pharma Talks YouTube channel.